So yeah, Kronch Time, red-green, mid-range. We've got Kronch Wrangler, Kronch, other cards, 4-power creatures, couple of counter synergies, Bloom Hulks, etc. So let us go. Straight into the queue. I should probably update the deck name. What did I call it? Kronch Time. I am going to have to realign the title. Oh no, move the whole stream more like. There we go. Perfect. Don't want to play a mass again. Do want to play this deck. Do want to go. Do want to go. Alright. Got an opponent. Jarhead 399. Got all our colours. Got a Kronch Wrangler into a Raging Kronch, into a Bloom Hulk with a Cosmotronic Wave. If we draw a 4th land, I can't imagine a better opener. Opponent mulliganed as well. We are on the draw. So it's possible opponent just like interacts with Wrangler. Kronch doesn't get to attack for infinity time. Ooh, Frenzied Arynx though. We have some individually large creatures. Lazotep Reaver, sure. Another Kronch. Here is the Wrangle Father. Ah, that's right mouse over him. Is he dying? Toll of the Invasion. So at least we have 2 Raging Kronch. Don't know if I've ever considered that I'd want to be saying that. But here we are. Here we are. Opponent is thinking about what they want to take. Bloom Hulk. Fair enough. Yep, opponent's getting in with both. We will take it all. Because our Kronch Wrangler is going to be a 3-2. We draw the forest. We're not going to let them know we've drawn the forest. But we definitely have. Opponent knows about the Cosmotronic Wave as well, which is interesting. We'll definitely make Arynx with a counter. Losing Bloom Hulk makes it slightly worse, but I want a bigger creature that doesn't trade to a double block. Trade unfavorably to a double block. Sorin's Thirst on the Wrangler is sad. Opponent's going to get him for nothing. We'll play a land. We'll play an Arynx. Arynx is a 4-4, say go. Just some quite large creatures here. Yep, opponent isn't attacking. We've drawn a land. So it doesn't... We don't want to play the Kronch pre-combat. We do want to attack with our creatures. What's this to activate? 6 mana. Opponent has no blocks, which is fantastic for us. We'll play a Raging Kronch, which now presents lethal with Cosmotronic Wave. If this... Oh, they can attack together as well. Ooh. Kronch Synergy. Kronch Synergy. Grim Initiate. Resolves an opponent explodes because they know we have Cosmotronic Wave. So wasn't expecting to win our first game with Kronch Time. Wasn't expecting to win many games with Kronch Time. Let's go straight back into the queue. Straight back into the queue. Talahim is our opponent. So this is a interesting hand. In that, I guess actually it's a good hand to have 2 Guildgates in. Because we can play turn 2 Druid, turn 3 Wrangler. And I guess, like, the Turret Ogre is coming out on curve. But I don't know, I could see it being good. Not very eloquent thoughts, I know. Here's Druid of the Cowl saying hello. Jaya's Greeting kills Druid. So again, if we draw land, hand is fine. Second Cosmotronic Wave is kind of awkward. Maybe we only want 1 in the deck, just to have sometimes as a blowout. Just to draw 2? I think it's okay. Okay, so we drew this. If this Turret Ogre gets, like, syncopated, I'll be sad, or essence scattered. If Wrangler dies, that's fair enough. So Wrangler's not dying yet, unless opponent is just making us wait. Just make me click for no reason. Oh, they're bouncing Wrangler, okay. And not even getting kicker value. So opponent's down a card in that exchange. It's weird, but I actually quite like to draw another Kronch Wrangler. Because then we get to go Wrangler, Wrangler, Bloomhulk next turn, have a pair of 4/3s. Land is not what I wanted. Still going to play Kronch Wrangler. We're under no pressure. We need to get the most out of our creatures that we can. And we're going to get a 4/3. So we get the same amount of power playing the Wrangler that we were playing a Bloomhulk that turn. So here's the Bloomhulk. Let's see if anything's going to happen to the Wrangler. Might get bounced again. But otherwise, we're okay. I like how Arena stacks these triggers in the right order for us. Saves us having to manually click through, like on Modo. Not playing a land. And go ahead, opponent. Oh, we get to attack. Please don't kill my 4/3. Oh, it connects. Okay. Okay. So, if opponent plays anything... Oh, Arrest as Admonition. Jeez. What is this? Is it just like blue-red control? Are we going to get turtled at some point? Well, definitely attacking with Hulk. Putting opponent's 12. Waiting for opponent to decide what they're doing. In for 4, let's go. Opponent's on 12. Play Druid. I mean, opponent knows we have Wrangler. Should have probably led on Wrangler, but what's the opponent going to do with 2 mana? They already know what they're going to do to this Wrangler when it reappears. Yep. Done thinking about it. Here's my Wrangler. And go ahead, opponent. I am kind of sad these waves aren't real cards. Maybe we don't need them. Maybe our creatures are just big enough. Well, opponent can't beat our board, though. So, maybe we didn't need the Cosmotronic Waves. There's nothing small and hexproof, is there? Well, there's the 3/3 for 4. But I don't think... we won't make any changes. We'll run it back. Like I said, having both Cosmotronic Waves was unfortunate. But it didn't lose us a game. And more often than not, we're just going to draw 1. And when we do draw 1, it's going to be pretty good. Netquake. Netquake's our opponent. Yeah, okay. So we've got the Kronch curve. The classic Kronch curve. All Kronches all the time. How can one Kronch bring so much joy to so many people? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Ooh, Druid of the Cowl. So, is it worth playing Druid of the Cowl? I mean, what's our other option? Hold up Jaya's Greeting when we're going to run out a Raging Kronch. I think we play Druid. Also, it might incentivize the opponent to burn a Jaya's Greeting if they're holding one. Burning Prophet. Here's a Kronch. It does mean next turn we get to Kronch and Greeting. We're not going to Greeting yet. Opponent might play weird. Ooh, another Prophet. Do you have a Lando? That's okay. That's very much okay. So, we play land. Do we attack with this Kronch? I think we do, because the worst thing that can happen... I guess double block on Druid of the Cowl and an Opt is kind of a shitter. So I guess we don't attack. And I guess what we do is play out the second Kronch. And then I think when opponent goes there, non-creature spell, we will greeting one of the prophets once we know what they're doing with the scries. Oh, what? I've disconnected? Is the stream disconnected? Not dropping frames. Arena, please. Did opponent concede to Kronch? We're back. Back in the action versus Neckquake. Okay, here we go. Wait. No, I thought I played this Kronch. I guess we get to play the Kronch again. So there's a Kronch. Right, we'll end the turn. Opponent presumably has an opt. Opponent... I guess if opponent has 2 Burning Prophets, it makes sense that they don't play an opt. Now what? Now what? So, my turn. We're going to play a Tishana's Wayfinder this turn. I should probably play it pre-combat. A, in case we draw land. B, because if we hit a non-land, we get to use that information to inform our further decisions. That's my thinking there. And we draw Gruul Guildgate, so we can play that this turn as a land. We are attacking with both Kronches, because that is the sick Kronch synergy. So opponent's going for a double block on a Kronch, which I feel like probably ends up going okay for us. Opponent is opting, gets their triggers. I feel like we're greeting one of the prophets in response, because they don't have to do anything else here. And if they want to cast any further non-creature spells after this, they're only going to get 1 scry. And it might mean that we end up eating this other prophet unless they have another non-creature spell to make it a reasonable trade for them. And the next turn, we have some poop creatures on the battlefield to get in with. If opponent plays a weird and grows it, we have Arynx. We can, yeah, so greeting on the other Kronch. I guess opponent might have like shock and just trade off the entire board. But I mean, I'm not really keeping track, but it would be something like a 3 for 3, right? Ooh, the opt isn't. Oh no, 2 prophets and a greeting. Yeah, so it'd be a 3 for 3 if opponent wants to spend a shock on Wayfinder. Ooh, and it's just Sheevan Fire. So they kind of spend the opportunity cost of having that removal later in the game. I mean, wish we had a larger creature to deploy still. Kronch Wrangler, not really what I had in mind. I guess if Tishana's Wayfinder hits land, we will play out this other Druid of the Cowl. Are you going to kill my Druid? Don't kill my Druid. What did Druid ever do to you? What did... Devious cover up the Druid. Wow, okay, that's interesting. Guess we'll Wayfinder. Turret Ogre. And we get a 3-3. Yes, I think we'll leave Turret Ogre there, and we'll get him for 1. So opponent knows we're drawing Turret Ogre. It's not a 4 toughness creature, but it's still big enough to get through a Burning Prophet. And that's kind of where I'm at with my creatures. We'll run out Ogre. Doesn't get to trigger. We'll run out another Druid. Because these two can attack past Prophet for 1 damage, and if they're not blocking this, it's another 7. An opponent plays a land and passes, presumably. And we draw Jaya's Greeting. So, not casting it. I'm getting in with everyone. Yep, blocking there, taking 8. Next 2 damage. Opponent has Jaya's Greeting. Maybe I should have Greeting this Prophet. Because let's see what they do with this Scry. If this Scry is a top, I'm probably incentivized to murder this Prophet. Am I? Because, I mean, what could they top? We'll kill the Prophet. Maybe I should have killed the Prophet. No, Rubblebelt Runner is a 3-3. It's not premium, but it's big enough. It does the job. What have we got from our opponent? Jaya's Greeting on the Wayfinder. That's what they topped. So I'm kind of glad we did kill the Prophet. They don't get a double scry, they just get one scry, and they bottom as well. So that bodes well for us. Hopefully this 3-3 is good for a couple of attacks. Get him for 2. Make a runner. Nyom. Oh, he's got a dagger. Wait. And he's got like a Velociraptor toe. That's pretty brutal. Oh, opponent's got nothing, so we'll attack first and we'll play a Ceratok. The order really doesn't matter. Yep, I imagine that should be enough to get the concession. Don't know what opponent's doing otherwise. Yeah, main phase Epiphany, sure. I guess they could, like... They can't kick Blink and cast anything else. I think we're okay. Opponent needs, like, 2 chump blockers. Or chump blocker plus removal. So I guess, like, Prophet plus Greeting lets them survive for a turn. What's this other card, opponent? I think we're okay. Just while opponent makes their decision, see if they die. Oh, exactly what they needed to survive a turn. I mean, I still don't think we're losing, but it's kind of funny. If you are watching, thank you very much for viewing. Hope you're having an excellent Monday. We draw a land, we Alpha Strike. If you are new to the stream, enjoying what you're watching, please click follow. That's the only thing I can ask you to do. You don't have to. It's just nice that you're around. We are now 3-0, however, with Kronch Time, which is red-green, kind of mid-rangey beats in the Ravnica at War Part 2 No Escape Pauper event. Oh, so is Part 2 No Escape and Part 1 was Ravnica at War? That's why they're named after cards. Our opponent is Pandarini. Not Pandarino, Pandarini. And our hand is okay. Opponent is on the play. But our hand is still okay. We'll keep the 7. Not keeping 7. Yep, play a land, pass turn. Dusk Legion Zealot. There's a forest, here's a druid. I can't... Ooh, this Cosmotronic Wave might end up being good in this matchup. Opponent's attacking. So, they have Bladebrand, presumably. However, I don't know if I mind if they have Bladebrand. Because I'm going to play Wayfinder next turn anyway. And I don't want them to Blade Juggle if they're Blade Juggler. Oh, Abnormal Endurance, so it's just a 1-for-1. I guess they get to draw a card. So basically Bladebrand. What a spicy turn. So happy with a counter or a land here. Bloomhulk, however, is going into the graveyard. Because I would like a 4th land. Is this opponent going to be like mono black cards? Because that is the first Abnormal Endurance I played against. Fool me once. Well, I imagine we are now going to get Blade Juggled, just because we didn't play around it the second time. Opponent's put the fear in me. Opponent has put the fear in me. Demonic Vigor. Okay. None of these other creatures are going to proliferate. We get to double spell if we draw land. We'll play Bloomhulk. I suppose this might be a setup for a Vicious Offering. Or something that involves sacrificing the 1-1. But I mean, if we can get opponent's life total low enough, Cosmotronic Wave means we don't really care about whatever shenanigans they have going on. Yep, Doom Dissenter, that's fine. Kaya's Ghost Form on Doom Dissenter. Yep. Yes, sirree. So... Guildgate. Does attacking into these creatures achieve anything in terms of combat damage? The answer, dear readers, is no. So we're going to play, I guess, a Rubblebelt Runner. And we're not going to attack. And hopefully opponent just keeps developing the board with random creatures and doesn't Spark Harvest us or anything mean like that. And the next turn we're going to play Kronch and have Greeting up. Costly Plunder's fine. It draws them some cards, but their board still can't survive a Cosmotronic Wave. Burglar Rat's kind of a pain. I think Greeting is the discard, because it doesn't advance our game plan. Does mean if we draw a land we're holding it. Now we know it's in their range. We'll play a Raging Kronch, we'll pass. Hopefully, once again, opponent jamming Ill-Gotten Inheritance here would be fantastic. They do as asked. We cast Cosmotronic Wave. Hopefully I've counted right and this is 15 damage. And opponent dies. Now, not saying we are 4-0 with Gruul. However, we are 4-0 with Gruul. What's our card? Memorial to War. Already coming up on our 15th win for the day, which is pretty okay. Got an opponent already, it's Jamillionaire. Jamillionaire, will you be the next to fall to the Gruul Menace? Again, double Kronch hand, gonna keep it. A 2 would be nice. Raging Kronch Wrangler would be nice to keep these Kronches in control. That's what I'd like to have happen. But we'll see. We'll see. Don't know if the opponent's still making a mulligan decision. Don't remember who gets to go first in this game. My attention span is pretty short, not going to lie. Not going to lie. Oh, it's us. We're going first. Phenomenal. We'll lead on Forest. Just to let opponent know what we're all about. Mountain will obviously be our next play, and then we'll go from there. I've got OBS hopefully playing the arena sounds tonight. If they're too loud or otherwise disruptive, let me know. I can turn them down. But I thought they were okay at filling kind of dead air. I might adjust it slightly downwards. There we go, that's better. Not that there's very much dead air when I'm rambling constantly. So this Gruul Guildgate, kind of awkward, but we don't have any other play on 2 anyway. That's kind of the last possible turn we'd like to draw it. And then plan for next turn. It might be Runner. It might be a Kronch. I feel like it's probably a Runner. Unless opponent plays something that really incentivizes me to have a 4-power blocker. I can't think of much they can do that would do that. Well, yep, there's a Forest. And Druid of the Cowl. Are we battling the mono-green menace? Our one true foe. So... the reason we want to play Raging Kronch, actually, is because we're going to play Turret Ogre on 4 and we'd like to dink our opponent for 2. That informs our decision. We figured it out. We saw the line. What's happening now, opponent? What's happening now? Generous Stray. Sure. And Druid of the Cowl. So we could have a problem if opponent starts jamming Wrecking Beasts or something. Well, they've got 6 mana. So it could be a Dreadmore turn. We have double Greeting for Dreadmore. And we probably would do it so they can't untap with like Giant Growth. Opponent can't band together any of our creatures currently. Rabid Bite doesn't do anything. 7 mana is Wrecking Beast mana. Rejuvenate is fine. I'd like to draw a land so we have a Jaya's Greeting free to break up some double blocks. Daggerback Basilisk is going to eat one of these Greetings anyway. Kronch Wrangler. Okay. We'll kill the Basilisk. Neither of these have trample. Tishana's Wayfinder... not really in the mood for that, am I? I'd kind of like another land. Definitely attacking with both. Opponent only has 3 power back. So if they do decide to triple block, we'll probably just shoot Druid of the Cowl. Because opponent doesn't seem to have any fat creatures to play down. Opponent just likes to take it, which makes potential Cosmotronic Wave draws better. Might mean opponent does have a Wrecking Beast. That's certainly in the realm of possibility. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens from opponent's side. Yep. What are you doing, opponent? So maybe they do have a band together. Because they're eyeing up that Kronch Wrangler. It is the only thing on the board that can really be band togethered. Oh, okay, just Siege Worm is happening. The Siege Worm is here, the Siege Worm is here. I would like... Oh, wait, they just have Rabid Bite. Are they going to Rabid Bite something? But why would they be poking Crunchy Wrangles? Okay, so we didn't draw land. So, I feel like we attack here. Do we? Yes. Do we, though? Yes. Opponent's at 10. I think we just have to attack. And if Siege Worm blocks, we're going to end up... We're going to make it take damage, and then we'll Greeting it after combat. Also, the fact opponent hasn't snap blocked, although opponent has been kind of slow to act, but the fact opponent hasn't snap blocked makes me feel better about this attack. So we'll see what happens. Opponent's got 4 power of non-Siege Worm creatures, so they can get a reasonable like quad block going on a Kronch as well. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked with Wrangler, actually. So, yeah. I think this is still fine. Land on top, it's a Guildgate. I think we're past wanting Guildgates. The worm did die, though. Don't know what the next... Hopefully the opponent just like starts bricking out. Dreadmore's bad for us. Okay. I guess we're waiting for a Cosmotronic Wave kind of situation. Or maybe Dreadmore starts coming in and we just get to Arynx them at some point. I think we had to get a Siege Worm off the board. I think attacking with Kronch Wrangler was Kronch Wrangler was probably wrong, given that we had an Arynx and another Kronch in hand. So this game is kind of mine to punt, I guess. I guess we didn't make the optimal plays, but we made plays. Opponent's thinking once again. Maybe we should try doing that a bit more often. Prey upon kills a Turret Ogre. That's bad for me. If opponent attacked with Dreadmore, would I trade with it? Probably. actually. Are you going to give me that chance, opponent? Wow. Yes. Please. Yes, please. I mean, sure you get to trample over. That's unfortunate. Still no land. We're definitely putting Arynx in as a 4-4. If opponent bricks and we draw land, we can... Generous Stray is kind of an unbrick. Kind of the opposite of a brick opponent. Quite the opposite. Yeah, Prey Upon. That's an okay draw. Opponent 2-for-1 themselves to like poke us with 1/1s. Thundering Ceratok. Raging Kronch blocks. We have Arynxes in our deck, so I think we run out of the Kronch. The only thing that would make us regret that is if we draw a Kronch Wrangler. If we draw... Oh, we've seen both our Turret Ogres. Opponent drew a land. The opponent has no attacks. We can't attack with Kronch. We're going to play Runner and pass. See, this is the problem with mono green. I say moments before opponent wrecks us. You just get to a point where all you're drawing is shit because you just can't make the density of great cards high enough. So this is interesting. Opponent only really has one multi-block, and we just get to give our creatures trample. And have a 4/5. I think we're probably in a good spot thanks to our opponent's willingness to trade their beef. And as you should know, never trade your beef. We will kill Cowl and a Rejuvenator. And then we'll get in for 3. Opponent currently has 5 toughness and drew another land. We're going to have 7 power coming in, so at least 2 will trample over. And opponent explodes. So 5-0 with red-green cards. Kind of enjoying this deck. But it might be because we're winning. I do enjoy winning. Certainly enjoy winning. Actually, can I cancel this? Will be the first time lifetime I get to cancel. We can, whoops. No, nothing compromising, please. Not that there is. I am a good boy. Of that, there is no doubt. Let's go on the tweeters. I guess I can go on the tweeters on here, right? I don't tweet anything bad. Fantastic. I guess keep winning, because I might play the deck a bit longer. And then stick some hashtags on there. That'll do. And then we'll go back in. Submit deck. Submitty Spaghetti. I imagine we've still got exactly 2 viewers. Ooh, 3 viewers. Living the dream. Living the dream with the Kronches. Maybe we didn't even need to tweet. C100 is our opponent. This is the part where we probably immediately start losing with the deck. We've got some creatures. We've got a wave. So, not going to lose to Rat Colony anytime soon, famous last words. I guess it could be the version with like Duress or whatever. In which case this being in our open is a liability. But otherwise, not a bad hand. Would like to draw a Kronch Wrangler. I guess the 5th land is fine. We have a lot of turns where we want to like play a 3 and have a Jaya's Greeting up. I'd like to stop drawing lands now though. Profit, Greeting. Turn too late, Mr. Wrangler. Still playing the Wrangler though. Because we need our creatures to do things, and I'm not playing a Goblin Piker. We'll play Kronch next turn to put a counter on it. Unless we get like... I guess Bloomhulk's fine. Because you still get the Proliferate counter. Turret Ogre would be acceptable. Like Turret Ogre followed by Jaya's Greeting, if I could stack the deck. Opponent comes in. Not even blocking, don't even drip. Ouch. Took a damage. Piston Fist Cyclops. Okay, so it's this version of spells. That is a land. Then the question becomes, do I want to trade this Wrangler for this Cyclops? I think so. Because the Wrangler's never really going to get big enough that it gets over the top of Cyclops. And if opponent doesn't want to trade their Cyclops, which they probably don't, we just get 3 damage through. Opponent is also low on red mana, which is good for us. Assuming again that it's a more traditional blue-red spells list. Because the red mana is kind of where their good spells get bottlenecked. Oh, there's OBS. Opponent is opting, sure. Oh no. Cool. Alright. For a moment I thought I might have to click something to get this opt to happen. We do not. That's fantastic. Happy days. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday. I know I am. To be fair, life is pretty great. Piston Fist Cyclops is coming in. I don't want to trade it with my Kronch. And I can't imagine opponent... I think it's right to not trade it. We have a Cosmotronic Wave. We just need to get the life total low. I don't think they're expecting to die from whatever. Another Cyclops. Okay. Ooh, Bloomhulk. So is Bloomhulk good? Bloomhulk is good. So Bloomhulk lets Kronch Wrangler be a 5/4. We get to attack with both. If opponent trades Cyclops, happy days. I mean, we're probably dead to like maximize the altitude. But opponent would have to be playing maximize altitude. Although the Cyclops versions do tend to. Opponent's tapped out, so this Burning Prophet's not growing. So it's not really interacting in combat. And if Cyclops trades with Kronch, this is fine too. We get to trample over for 2, so opponent goes to 11. And then if we play Runner next turn, survive 2 turns, Cosmotronic Wave is lethal. I feel like we might get to a point where we would have to chump with something before then. But again, opponent only has 1 red mana, so it's not like they're likely to develop their board. And cast a load of non-creature spells. Ooh, we drew an Arynx. Does Arynx change anything? I don't think Arynx changes anything, other than... Well, we can't play both next turn. So I guess we're just going to play Arynx. We're going to play it with a counter. We are not going to attack. I'm hoping opponent doesn't have a Jaya's Greeting and chooses to use it on the Kronch. I don't think they will. I'm hoping they don't. And they just like tap out. Yeah, they play another weird. This probably just means they're dead. It might not mean they're dead. They could have blink of an eye, I guess. But I mean, so opponent's board is quite scary. Do I think they have exactly blink of an eye? How bad is it if they do? I guess it's not the end of the world, right? We have Kronch Wrangler to chump with. Let's go. No fear. Ooh, we got there. Another win for us. Terrifying. What am I looking for? Ooh, and we got 20 gemmies as a reward. Gems is the best reward, especially after I spewed off on all them boosties trying to get commons. Oh, what am I doing? Oh no, that's fine. So many windows though. Get this over here. Cool. So, what do we have here? This hand's good. This hand is good. We have a Druid of the Cowl. If it doesn't die and we don't draw land, we get to explore on turn 3 looking for some more. So, not a problem for me there. Not a problem for me there. Guildgate go. Guildgate go. That's our opening. Is this the 7th game with the deck? Oh, it is. Opponent plays a red land. Cool. Opponent has something. I really like just having Druid of the Cowl and no Llanowar Elves. So we draw a land anyway. We definitely play Druid. So, because we're playing against mono-red, we don't really want to be tapping the... Ooh, we're playing against blue-red spells probably then, never mind. We're definitely blocking, because our play next turn is 100% Kronch. Because we want to be able to trigger Turret Ogre. Yeah, sure. You spend your whole turn doing that. And I've made a Kronch. If we draw a land, we'll probably play Ogre. If we don't draw a land, we'll play Wayfinder. Electromancer. Electromancer greeting? No greeting, so we drew a land. Did I say we were playing Turret Ogre? Yes, we'll play Turret Ogre. Definitely going to play Turret Ogre. Second Electromancer. And a Lava Runner. Not getting much value off these Electromancers, are you, opponent? So if we attack with both, are there any awkward double blocks that happen? No, not really. Wow, opponent takes. Okay, Arynx with a counter. Go ahead. If opponent's turn is like equally awkward, we'll, ooh, Hypothesis all. Wow, that's pretty good. And it turns on the 2/2s. Jeez. If opponent gets in for 8, though, that's good for us. Do it. Do it. Do it. All attack. Okay, so we're going to play Arynx. We're going to riot the Arynx. Oh, insane! Opponent had Teferi's Time Twist. Wow, that was really good, actually. I thought we had them. I thought we had them. So, in that case... we just attack with both, put opponent to 6. And then... So, I think... we could just play Arynx as a 4/4, but I kind of value it having haste in this race. I do like the option of clearing land off our deck. I guess 2/2s are fine to trade with. Yeah. That's fine. It means if we draw like Jaya's Greeting, we can play Arynx and Greeting in the same turn. Teferi's Time Twist is a nice one. These double Electromancers are doing work. Ooh. 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 So, opponent has 2 mana up and a card. Opponent has left a blocker back this time. If we haste in the Arynx, what happens? Hasting in the Arynx isn't lethal. So I guess we block here. Okay, so we've drawn another Arynx. Oh, Kronch can't attack alone anyway. That's fine. We'll bring in a 4/4. And then next turn, this thing gets to attack and trample. Piston Fist is fine, you have no attacks. So the board is now actually just some maths. So Arynx with Pump is 7. I feel like we just attack with both and see how opponent wants to react. Because they can't take, and they have to put a fair amount on this Frenzied Arynx, right? Oh, I guess they can just do this. Is this acceptable? Yes, this is acceptable. Sure. Because our follow-up is Kronch and a runner. And then we've got Frenzied Arynx as the follow-up. Opponent drew a creature. Can't imagine opponent's inclined to attack. Ooh, we drew Jaya's Greeting. Frenzied Arynx, Riot. All attack. A very, very crunchy time. This time's fantastic. This deck's been fantastic so far. So, what's happening? This is happening. This is all fine, right? Yeah, this deck is really enjoyable, to be fair. Just playing at big crunchy boys, getting in, killing opponents. I imagine, bar some absurd draw from our opponent, we are about to be 7-0 with it as well. Which is nice. And we drew another Kronch. Fantastic. I guess I'm just going to keep playing it until it loses, and then I will retire it. Because the games are also fairly quick. And then I'll maybe try and build a mono-white Auras deck, I guess. Ooh, this hand. This hand has no Kronches. But it has land and some amount of spells and Scries of Greetings. Maybe the 8th game was ambitious. But it's a bit early to call it. Ooh, especially because opponents play mono green. Well, that's a lie, they could be playing anything. But we are going to kill that elf. Bolt the bird. Do I want to keep drawing Greetings? I'd rather draw Kronches, but I'm not going to bottom it. Especially because we're on the play and opponent could still go like Druid of the Cowl. Yep. So straight off the top of my deck, straight onto this Druid. I don't want my Druid though. I guess if we had Druid, wouldn't do anything. It would just make a turn 5/5 drop. Yep. What can opponent do? Arlen's Wolf. Acceptable. Tishana's Wayfinder, that's a draw. We'll play it. What's on top? Kronch Wrangler. I do like drawing. We'll leave Wrangler on top, because we get to draw it, and then we can like play it and Jaya's Greeting, then Ceratok the turn after. And it's serviceable. Very serviceable. Opponent's thinking, are they going to Rabbit Bite me? Do I want to trade with Arlen's Wolf? No, because we're going to Jaya's Greeting it. That's the strategy. That's the ticket. Druid of the Cowl. Opponent didn't play a land. So maybe what we're actually doing is going to Greeting that Druid. We'll attack. Opponent might want to try and, like, Giant Growth me. And I'm in the mood for 2-for-1s. I am very much in the mood for 2-for-1s. Although surely opponent wouldn't do the block. Assuming opponent might, it's kind of insulting their intelligence. Although, opponent has something, because it didn't let me go to attackers. Ooh, I think it's happening, lads. Yes. I will allow it. So what you're saying is, I'm going to kill that. And I'm going to bottom that. And then we'll play a Kronch Wrangler. Because if you're not wrangling Kronches, are you even playing Magic? Druid of the Cowl. She's back again. I'll take my 3. I know when to quit. Arynx might want to riot, so we'll play Ceratok. Also means Wrangler gets to attack into Druid. I mean, if opponent has a Giant Growth here, it's good. But I'd accept that. Because at this point, I'm assuming opponent just has 3 large creatures in hand. And if opponent doesn't, that's good for me. I suppose Frenzied Arynx is okay at pushing into large creatures. Rabbit Bite, sure. And Sauroform. Ooh, Bloomhulk. Is Bloomhulk good here? So opponent held back Arlen's Wolf. Bloomhulk makes Kronch Wrangler a 5/4, so it would 2-for-1 if opponent double blocks it. Supreme Kronching. So opponent can 2-for-1 to kill either of our creatures, but that's fine. Opponent's thinking about it. They don't have any mana untapped, so it's not like Giant Growth will be happening. Ooh, got a block. And we've got our double block. Sure. And they're dead. So we keep Ceratok, Bloomhulk. We've got an Arynx coming in. If opponent has nothing, we can force a chum block. Which is always nice. Triple Jaya's Greeting hand, pretty reasonable. What can I say? Once again, proving that people are playing mono green cards in decks. So, Bristling Boar, is that good? I guess it trades for Bloomhulk. We still attack with both next turn. I might just concede when we have the win on board, though. Because I guess we don't need the stained glass card style. And our opponent is playing mono green. And really, I'm sure they'd enjoy it. Because nobody plays mono green in Pauper for fun. We demonstrated that yesterday. Ooh, tagged our library. Sorry, library. Oh no, Don't rope me, opponent. I was about to be nice to you. Well, never mind. We will destroy this player. Cool. So while that's happening, we'll see what's going on. Anything exciting? No, apparently not. Opponent's looking at my lands now. So they're definitely at the keyboard. Come on, opponent. Okay, we drew a card. We'll play a land. All in. Gonna make this Arynx as a 4/4 because the turn after we get to attack with an activation on it. Although, come on, opponent, you make it difficult for me to concentrate and be fun and engaging. Or maybe that's my fault. It's okay, though. Oh no, wait, where are we? Oh, we're in my combat step, sure. We haven't even got the Arynx into play, and opponent explodes. So 8-0 with the Kronches. More Kronch. Never not playing Kronch. Ziscion? Opponent has a pretty cool name, difficult to pronounce though. Ooh, this is a keep. This is why we have Druid of the Cowl over Territorial Boar. Although opponent is playing... Ooh, Vampire Neonate. Opponent, are you playing Mono Black Vampires too? If we see the 3-1 Vampire, we know they're on... Oh no, Lazatep Reaver. They're just playing like Black Life Gain or something. Well, this is a Cosmotronic Wave matchup if there ever was one. Thought that was going to be Wave, it was in fact a Turret Ogre. That's okay, we'll play out Druid. Hopefully Druid survives because it doesn't die to any of the -2/-2s. We'll make an Arynx. Don't know if we'll follow it up with Ceratok or Ogre, to be honest. Well, there's Wayfinder. Still think we're playing Arynx this turn, though. Are we? Yes, because like I said, we want to play Turret Ogre at some point. And Druid of the Cowl might die. +1/+1 counter. What's opponent doing end of turn? Whisper Agent. This is an interesting deck. This is very interesting. I can't think of a deck that wants Neonate and Whisper Agent. I guess there's not many actual Surveil synergies at common. Well, there's Ill-Gotten Inheritance. There is a small problem for us. There's Raging Kronch, though. So I might hold back on attacking with Arynx for one more turn. Because what does attacking with it achieve here? It trades for Agent and a token, presumably. Is that good? I mean, if it trades for Agent and a token... Because what are we doing next turn? No, I think we wait a turn, actually. We wait a turn, and the next turn we can attack, threatening an activation. No, that's bad. I think we should probably have attacked and just traded for Agent and the zombie. and then played Ceratok. And then we get to untap and play like Wayfinder and Kronch. Because we still have to attack into this board sometime. Spoke too soon. Don't have to do shit. So opponent has Neonate, but they don't really have the mana to start activating Neonate. How much mana do we have? 9. No, 6 even. Well, we can't play Kronch and Ogre, so we'll play Wayfinder. Lead with Wayfinder. Explore what's on top. Jaya's Greeting. I would like to draw that, actually. And Raging Kronch, so that's 8, 12, 15, 16 power on the battlefield currently. We'll probably Greeting something and just jam with a couple of creatures next turn. And then set... Guess we're playing Magic the old-fashioned way. Can't imagine Cosmotronic Wave stays in our hand after that Toll of the Invasion. And I was not wrong. Okay, so... let's make opponent do maths. Let us make opponent do maths. Opponent putting Herald of the Dreadhorde on like Raging Kronch would be a good plan. I mean, we have to kill them sometime. Yep. 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 So... I can Jaya's Greeting the Whisper Agent, which we definitely are doing. Definitely are doing that. Jaya's Greeting the Whisper Agent, put Kronch... put Kronch Wrangler on the bottom. Deal some damage. Because then we preserve the Arynx, and we have 6 mana for activations on future turns. The 4/4 is still not that scary. The only awkward thing is that it blocks Wayfinder, but if it blocks Wayfinder, we have like 7, 11, 15 power coming around the side. So, Haven Eternal's fine, this is a 5/5. Gets to eat slightly bigger creatures. Not too concerned by what blue-blue could represent out of this deck specifically. The question is, do we Riot the Arynx? I can't imagine opponent elects to block the 4/4 Arynx. Because if they blocked it with the 5/5, we'd pump and run over, of course. I think we just Alpha Strike and then make a new Arynx with a counter. Attacking with Druid was not a good idea. Don't think we get punished for it, though. Yeah, that's lucky. Attack all, getting us once again. Yep. This is fine. Opponent drains us. So opponent's at 6. We have quite a chunky board, and we have 2 potentially pumpable Arynxes. Opponent's on 7 through Inheritance, but they are casting Epiphany. So they might be technically at 8, but I think we've got this game in the bag. I mean, I'd say definitely have this game in the bag. Which is fantastic news. Oh, Lazotep Reaver. Is that a problem? Is Lazotep Reaver a problem for us? So we have... Ooh. So this is a 6... Oh, it only made 1 body. Okay, so currently if we attack with everything, what happens? Like, Arynx gets blocked by the 6/6. We have another Arynx. Oh, yeah, they just die on an Alpha Strike. I'm fairly sure they die on an Alpha Strike. We'll find out, eh? I might actually pump the Arynx that got blocked there. Lying. We'll just put opponent to 0. So 9-0 on the day with crunchy crunches. Delicious crunchy crunches. The nutritious bestial breakfast cereal. Let's see what else we got. Ready. Overlopare or Overlopar. This hand is kind of awkward. I don't think we can mulligan it. Because, I mean, it's got 3 lands, it's got spells. If we draw a Druid of the Cowl on, like, our first draw step, the hand becomes insane. We are playing against green mana. That means we might just have time to set up and then Cosmotronic Wave through. Iron Shell Beetle. Proliferate. Okay. Jaya's Greeting was it was a good draw. I can't say anything otherwise. Am I casting it now? No, I don't think so. The opponent might try and do something. And that's where the value is. Courage in Crisis. No thanks. We'll counter that. Haha, get it? Counters. Bloomhulk on top. So, Bloomhulk isn't a land, but I don't really want to encourage lands to come to the top of the deck that hard. Because lands after our 6th are kind of awkward with this hand. And we're going to play Arynx with a counter. And like proliferating onto it with Bloomhulk just makes a 5/5. Reading what cards do to you. Druid of the Cowl is fine. Pollenbright Druid is fine. You're going to make what? A 2/4. So opponent does now have 5 power among their creatures. I think we wait until we have a 6th mana to attack him with Arynx. We'll play Ceratok, because it outsizes all their creatures. And I don't really need to proliferate yet. We might draw some Kronch Wranglers in the meantime. We don't have any way to control what's coming off the top of our deck. Another Courage in Crisis would not even be that bad, actually. Siege Worm, however, is quite a large lizard. Siege Worm is quite a large lizard. So maybe this is where we play Bloomhulk and offer the trade with the Siege Worm. Because if opponent doesn't trade with Siege Worm, we get 5 damage through. And if opponent trades with Siege Worm, then we're back to kind of a stalemate. And again, we just want the stalemate to last long enough to get 20 power on the board. Opponent having another Siege Worm is kind of unfortunate. Okay, so we've got 2 Cosmotronic Waves. So opponent dies over 2 attacks now. So no attacks here. Also, this Cosmotronic Wave catches the Elves and Druids. Kind of in... So, question is, do I move all in? Or do I think the fact it kills the 1/1s is pretty good. And then what are we getting cracked back for at most? 7, 8, 9, 12? An opponent can draw like 2 cards. So they need 2 giant growths for this to be a problem. And this means the opponent has to kill 2 of our creatures for the next wave to not be lethal. And I imagine, with only now 1 card in hand, the next wave is lethal. Cosmotronic Wave doing some real work in this deck. What a masterpiece. Turns out it's hard to do combat math when you cannot block. You know? And opponent's face explodes. I think I'm done with the deck for now, though. It's definitely a deck I'll come back to again before the end of the Pauper event. But I want to play something else, just for a little bit. Just for the last bit of the stream, anyway, for tonight. So, Red-Green Kronch Time once again. Wouldn't change a card. Every card performed reasonably well. Rubblebelt Runner. It fills in the curve nicely. It has relevant text, even though it didn't really come up during the games. This is probably where the flex slot is in the deck. Turret Ogre was surprisingly good. The reach never really came up, but the 2 points of damage was like a very big Viashino Pyromancer. Triggers your Kronch Wranglers. And then 2 Thundering Ceratok just at the top of the curve. Cosmotronic Wave was absurd. And is kind of a hedge against Rat Colony as well as just being busted at messing up combat math. So yeah, 10 out of 10, would recommend.